Oculus VR headsets have come a long way. From the earliest PCVR headsets to today's standalones, and now 7 years later since the first consumer headset hit the market, we're looking at the Meta Quest 3. Sure, it's been a bumpy ride at times, but having used all these headsets myself, I can't help but be excited about the progress we've made. When Quest 3 was announced recently, I was swamped with AWE and Apple news, but sometimes good things come to those who wait, because in the time since, we've been flooded with more details, mixed reality demos from Zuckerberg, intriguing insights from Meta CTO boss, leaked Quest 3 software videos, and a revealing Best Buy listing. So buckle up as we dive into what we know so far about Quest 3, we'll stack it up against the Quest 2 and Pro, and hopefully help you figure out if you should upgrade or buy it as your first headset. Join me beyond reality. Quest 3 is stirring quite the excitement, as this is the first true upgrade to the Quest 2. It's been a long time coming since the Quest 2 released 3 years ago in 2020. Of course, we got the Quest Pro release in 2022, but that was a disappointment to many, as it was very expensive at $1,500, and the upgrade did not feel significant enough to justify that price. Now here comes the Quest 3 at $500 for the 128GB model. And it has some features we've been waiting for. First up, the size. Quest 3 will be 40% slimmer than Quest 2. You can see the difference here clearly without the face covers, it's substantial. According to Zuck, this should make the headset more comfortable, which is one of the most important things in VR. But the game changer here? The new lenses. The Quest 3 is moving away from the traditional Fresnel lenses of Quest 2 and switching to the more compact pancake lenses. But what does that mean for us? Well, crispier visuals and less glare. Basically, a better visual experience all around. This is a big deal, guys, because the Quest Pro already uses pancake lenses, and despite having a lower resolution than Quest 2, it still manages to deliver superior visuals, thanks in large part to these lenses, among other things. While it's uncertain whether the Quest 3 will use the same lenses as the Quest Pro, it's likely that they'll be similar. So it's fair to say that Quest 3, armed with the same lens technology, has set some high expectations. Talking about resolution, details from the Best Buy listing have now offered us new insights about the Quest 3 resolution. With this 30% jump, we can expect the Quest 3 to have around 4.5 megapixels, which properly translates to approximately 2160 x 2160 resolution per eye, or 4K in total. This resolution, teamed with the new pancake lenses, could potentially make a huge difference in visual clarity. But next up is performance, new details about the controllers, leaks, and more. But first, let's talk audio. While there isn't a lot of news on that front, the trailer clearly shows us the same kind of integrated audio system as the Quest 2 and Pro. And this is a great segue to today's sponsor. A huge thanks to KIWI Design for sponsoring this portion of the video. KIWI Design has just released her new detachable earphones designed specifically for Quest 2. I've been using them for over a month and I'm genuinely happy with it. Not only are they super soft and deliver good sound quality, but they also offer great flexibility, thanks to an adjustable hinge that lets you rotate and adjust the earpiece, so you could make it comfortable for any head shape. They're also very easy to install and remove. For me, on-ear headphones trump in-ears when it comes to long-term comfort. Plus, the convenience of having a permanently mounted solution is hard to beat, so these are now my go-to headphones. If you're a Quest 2 owner seeking an effortless audio experience, click the link below. Let's continue. The Quest 3 will also finally be harnessing the power of the next generation Snapdragon chip. While the upgrade from the Snapdragon XR2 in the Quest 2 to the XR2 Plus in the Quest Pro wasn't much of an upgrade, the Quest 3 promises to break new ground. According to Meta, this spells out double the processing power, paving the way for faster and smoother gaming experiences, higher resolution displays, and crisper, more vivid visuals. This is exciting news not just for us gamers, but also for developers. More resources mean they can design more ambitious games. A case in point, Asgard's Wrath 2. This game was ahead of its time when it was released, and its scale and depth meant it was previously only feasible on PCVR. The idea of such an ambitious game landing on standalone VR is genuinely awesome. Now, with the increased processing power and higher resolution, there might be a bit of a trade-off here. The Quest 3 might drain the battery faster, although that's an issue we can mitigate with external battery packs, a practice many of us have already adopted in our VR journey anyway. But there's another new thing, the controllers. The Quest 3 will come with the Touch Plus. Now, to make this more understandable, so far we got these controllers. The Quest 2 comes with the Touch controllers, and the Quest Pro uses the Touch Pro. The Quest 3 will get the Touch Plus. On the new Touch Plus, you might notice the absence of the tracking ring, so you may wonder, how does the tracking work now? Meta CTO Boss offered some clarity during an AMA session. So with the Quest 2 controllers, the tracking relied on a constellation of infrared LEDs on the rings, which, while invisible to us, could be detected by the headset's cameras. This enabled the headset to determine the controller's location, and by combining that with computer vision, it was doing a great job. The Touch Plus controllers still incorporate these infrared LEDs, but without the ring, as it's not needed anymore. The tracking now combines the LEDs with computer vision and hand tracking. And according to Boss, this method will provide reliable tracking even in positions where the headset's cameras cannot see the LEDs. This allowed Meta to eliminate the rings, which they claim has made the controllers more ergonomic. I'd speculate that this also means the controllers are lighter and potentially more comfortable. However, it's important to note that these controllers differ from the self-tracked Quest Pro controllers. The latter contains its own chips and cameras, allowing them to self-track without the headset's cameras. Because of that, it offers great tracking without dead zones, although it had its own downsides. Quest 3's Touch Plus uses optical tracking, so I expect it will still have some dead zones, just like the Quest 2 controller. But Quest 3 does support the Touch Pro, so it will be intriguing to compare them all once they're out. The Touch Plus will also feature haptic upgrades similar to those found in the Touch Pro. The haptics in the Pro is exceptionally immersive, even letting you feel the sensation of shaking a spray can. So if the Quest 3 controllers can deliver the same kind of experience, I think we're in for a real treat. Damn, I've talked so much about the controllers, so let's talk about a different feature. The Quest 3 will have color pass-through, like Quest Pro, but interestingly, it should be better. On Quest 2, we have a low-quality black and white pass-through that isn't the depth correct, so while it was useful, it could be uncomfortable spending too much time in it. The Quest Pro fuses black and white cameras with a single RGB camera to get its color pass-through, which looks depth correct, so it was totally awesome, but that fusing magic did cause some obvious color fringing and warping artifacts. The Quest 3 will take it up a notch by using two 4-megapixel RGB color cameras and a depth sensor. This should give us a more natural depth perception, so a more accurate representation of your play space and 10 times more pixels in pass-through, Meta claims. Zuck showed this off in a mixed reality experience, and while it was hard to see in a flat video, the pass-through resolution does seem better with fewer visual artifacts. It is also interesting to see that the new depth sensor seems to be able to make attaching virtual objects to walls, floors, and ceilings more convincing. Next to this, they also showed off a co-presence experience where they both battle each other virtually while being in the same physical space. Having experienced the Quest Pro color pass-through myself, I was really hoping for it to become accessible to a broader audience because it makes you not want to go back to the Quest 2 anymore. Now, with this technology becoming available at a more consumer-friendly price in the Quest 3, I think we're set to see a lot more mixed reality experiences, and I'm looking forward to that. On the software side, there are some leaks worth discussing. This Twitter user, well known for unearthing details from Quest firmware releases ahead of official announcement, suggests a new interface for the Guardian setup. You know, that handy invisible wall that saves us from furniture collisions in VR. He uncovered early videos showcasing a user using the headset's inside-out sensors to scan their play area. This includes recognition of items such as couches, coffee tables, and even decorative pieces, all being recognized and individually meshed. Intriguingly, one video shows a mixed reality game that interacts with real-world furniture. Meta has promised the Quest 3 will seamlessly blend your physical world with the virtual one, capable of intelligently understanding and responding to objects in your physical space, thus facilitating intuitive navigation. These leaked videos seem to be a step in that direction. Quest 3 will be fully compatible with the entire Quest 2 games library, just like the Quest Pro. With improved hardware, we can expect game devs to upgrade current games in the store for a visually enhanced experience, similar to what they did for Quest Pro. And just like back then, this probably makes it fun to dive back into the games that you already played. Now, rumors suggested a possible end to PCVR support, but luckily it isn't going anywhere. A Meta ex-employee working on Link hinted that it would be a kick-ass Quest Link HMD, among other things. This is fantastic news, especially for the PCVR space, which would be shrinking without Quest 2 users. Because the Quest 2 became the most popular headset on Steam VR quickly after its launch and has held that spot, with a significant usage share outclassing other headsets on the platform. Now, one significant difference between Quest 3 and Quest Pro is face tracking. Unfortunately, Meta has confirmed that Quest 3 will not feature the eye and mouth tracking present in the Quest Pro. A feature I was sincerely hoping for. It's a shame that it's not included. That's all we know so far about Quest 3. But Meta Connect, scheduled for September 27 and 28, should provide a more comprehensive review. Given previous trends, a mid-October launch seems likely, aligning well with the holiday shopping season. But the intriguingly detailed Best Buy product listing, complete with model number, SKU, correct price, and description, signals something imminent. It could imply that Quest 3 has already cleared FCC certification required before any sale, suggesting a launch-ready product. Could Meta aim for an immediate release following the Connect conference? It's a possibility. To wait or not to wait. Given that September is just around the corner, and if you're yet to get your first VR headset, it's quite clear that Quest 3 will surpass all existing Quest models. Unlike the Quest Pro, which offered marginal improvements at twice the price, Quest 3 brings substantial gains. But the Quest Pro did cater more to developers, providing them a playground to test features like eye and mouth tracking. If you're mostly into social VR, face tracking could add significant value, and if the price isn't an issue, the Pro may still hold appeal. Yet for most gamers, these features don't add much to the experience, and Quest 3 packs in more processing power and thermal efficiency than Quest Pro. So despite the lack of face tracking, it's undoubtedly a worthwhile wait. As for Quest 2, with its price back to the original $300, it seems like Meta is clearing out the remaining stock. I'd still advise holding out for the Quest 3 because for the extra $200, it seems to be a far more future-proof option for years to come unless they massively screw something up. As always, you can expect an in-depth review right here once it's out. Let me know what your questions are about that in the comments below, and I'll address them in my review. Also, let me know what you think about Quest 3, and if this got you excited already, you should find out what Quest games are coming. Check out my video for that right here. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. It's a massive support. A huge shout out to our current champs, and ik zie je